What's up, y'all? This your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to the 7 reasons why I choose to rock with the LG G6 over the Samsung Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus. Reason number 1 is cost. Now, the full retail price for the LG G6 is $650. That's $100 cheaper than the S8, $200 cheaper than the S8 Plus. Now, I'm not sure who you guys' carrier is. My carrier is T-Mobile. T-Mobile currently has a sale going on right now where you can get the phone, the LG G6, for $150 off, which means that it's sitting at a cool $500 price point. That is a phenomenal price for this powerhouse of a device sitting in front of you. Okay? And they've also got a little deal, another deal with the promotion going on. Not only do you just get $150 off to get the phone at $500, but you also get an LG G Pad tablet to go along with the deal. Okay, now there's some little stipulations and things that go along with the tablet. So, get down to your local T-Mobile stores and, you can talk to them about that. But if you want to take advantage of getting a G6 for $500, whether it be cash out of pocket or if you're, doing the installment plan, get this phone for $500. I mean, that is an excellent price for this phone. Reason number 2, the build quality. I would prefer the build quality over the S8 and the S8 Plus any day that the G6 here possesses. Let me tell you why. When Samsung, when they built the S8 and the S8 Plus, I don't want to say that they didn't have overall quality in mind. I think they were looking to captivate us with sexiness, and they've done that. So I applaud Samsung for that effort, because without a doubt, the S8 and the S8 Plus is the sexiest smartphone on the market to date. To date. But then you have to ask yourself, well, okay, I've got the sexiest device and definitely one of the most expensive devices, but what about the durability factor? If I drop my device, is my investment protected? With all of its sexiness, is it made with the premium materials that's going to protect my phone if I so happen to drop it? Let me tell you, if you drop your S8 and your S8 Plus and you don't have a screen protector or any kind of case on it, it's finished. It's done. The LG G6 here, it was made with durability in mind. It's got a very hard metal or aluminum along the sides. You can't really see it because I've got my Tech 21 case on it, but trust me, it's there. And you guys can do your own homework on this as well. But it's got like a metal or aluminum material along the sides, Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front, Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the back. I assure you, if you drop your G6, it will live to see another day. It was tested multiple times with drops in durability. The battery was tested multiple times. They've even restructured the way the internals of the phone was built just to ensure battery cooling, so you don't have this hot battery feeling like it's going to explode or possibly explode. Definitely not trying to have that same fiasco that Samsung did. No bash on Samsung. This could have happened to anybody. It just so happened that it happened to Samsung. It sucked. We're moving on, But the durability factor, the build quality, I feel much more comfortable having this in my hand and pocket than I do the S8 or the S8 Plus, because accidents do happen, ladies and gentlemen. And if your Samsung drops, I hope you've got insurance. Reason number 3, the LG Skin over Android 7.0. I'm a huge fan of the LG Skin. I've got my black theme here, going on. Got my carousel effect going on. Beautiful. Okay. All black everything. No racist. I love the fact that when you go to tools, everything is categorized. Now, typically, people, they have things in a list view, which you just scroll up and down. A lot of times I'm forced to have to deal with that because a lot of phones, they don't give you the option to either have it in a list view or a tab view like this. But I prefer the tab view here, because you just hit a section. If I can get my camera to focus here. Like sound and notifications. and it just brings up all your sound and notification settings. I click on network, it brings up all your network settings. Click on display, it brings up all your display settings. Click on general, it brings up all your general settings for the phone. I really like that. You know, it's the little things in life. I'm a very simple guy. I'm not hard to please at all whatsoever. You don't have to try to please me with all these bells and whistles. Now, do I like bells and whistles? Of course, but I like bells and whistles that I'm actually going to use, and I don't want to spend a boatload more money for those bells and whistles when they're not even things that I'm going to use. You know, the LG G6 here, it just fits me perfectly. It does me right. You know, I love the skin. It's interesting, you know, a lot of people, they bash the LG skin, and so what they'll do is they'll remove it and they'll put Nova Launcher on their phone, and they'll just, you know, put some other launcher, you know, with some different themes, and then it's like they'll put their phone on camera with the theme that they thought was better than the LG skin. And again, you know, it's a matter of opinion and preference, but to me, what they replaced the LG skin with just looks terrible. So it just really makes me question, you know, people's taste and, you know, how they want their phones to look. But, you know, everybody's different. You know, like I said, it's a matter of preference. But me personally, I like the LG skin over 7.0 Android. You know, I love what they've done with it. You know, typical Android stuff, 7.0. You know, but just, you know, LG, they've got their own little spin on it. And I like it. You know, I like it a whole lot. So that's reason number 3. Now, reason number 4 that I prefer the G6 over the S8. Performance. Now, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that the S8 or the S8 Plus performs badly. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, because of the fact that it's the only phone right now that has the Snapdragon 835 processor in it, you know, people, they get it confused, and they think that since that's the only phone that has the latest and greatest processor in it, that any other processor beneath it is just garbage. It's just terrible, like it just doesn't exist. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you. When I did my side-by-side comparison, I got my G6 here and I had the S8 here. When I compared them side by side, I opened up multiple apps. Do you know that a lot of those apps on the G6 here opened faster? And when I say faster, we're just talking about a couple of seconds, a split second, maybe a second, second and a half, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, seconds. I'm not saying that it just, you know, surpassed it by leaps and bounds. And then on the other hand, the Samsung S8 or the S8 Plus would do the same thing. There were certain apps that it would open a second or two faster than the G6 here. So don't get it confused into thinking that, oh, well, it's got the 835 processor. It's the most powerful. It has to be the most speedy processor out there. It has to be just trumping all other processors out there by leaps and bounds. That is not the reality, ladies and gentlemen. It is not the reality. So please don't sleep on this phone just because it doesn't have the 835 processor in it. It's got a Snapdragon 821 processor, which in my opinion is still one of the newer Snapdragon processors. It's got 32 gigs of internal storage. It's got 4 gigs of RAM. You know, it too has a Quad HD display. Now, the only thing is you're not able to scale from Quad HD to 1080p or 720, but that's okay. You know, I don't really need that. I mean, is that a nice feature that Samsung implemented within their phones? Yeah, of course it is. But you don't need, you know, to do that on here. You know, the phone, it looks great. You know, I got my black theme on here, you know, just to kind of, you know, reduce some of the battery consumption for having to power this Quad HD display. You know, I turn my brightness down a bit. Make sure that all the things that are turned off that I'm not using are turned off, and battery is optimized really well with that. So, you know, performance, you know, there's no drop off in performance by having this phone rather than the S8 or the S8 Plus. For everybody out there that thinks that you're just going to have a much better performing device by having the S8 or the S8 Plus, you're wrong, in my opinion. Do the comparison. Do a side-by-side comparison. Get yourself a G6, take your S8 or your S8 Plus, connect them to the same network, whether it be a Wi-Fi connection or a carrier connection over 4G LTE, and do your comparison that way. Okay? Now, my 5th reason, the fingerprint sensor, the fingerprint scanner. To me, in my opinion, the fingerprint sensor on the G6 here is perfectly placed. Why? Because a lot of other fingerprint sensors that are on the back of phones, that's where it's placed. It's not oddly placed to the right of the camera. Now, I'm not trying to bash the fingerprint sensor on the S8 or the S8 Plus. Obviously, Samsung, they saw something ergonomic that we didn't and felt like that would be a good place for it. My experience with it, it wasn't bad. I mean, did it take a second to get used to? Yeah, but I mean, I adjust easily. I adapt to my surroundings. So the fingerprint sensor on the Samsung, it wasn't bad at all. A lot of people bash it, but it's not that bad. You know, you just have to test it out for yourself. But for me and what I like and where I would like for my fingerprint sensor to be, if I had to choose between having it here or to the right of the camera, I want my fingerprint sensor right here in the middle, because when I hold my phone, it's exactly where my index finger is resting. Okay, and you can see just a little tap opens up the phone with ease, and it works 100% of the time. Not saying that the Samsung didn't. I'm just saying I much rather have the placement of the fingerprint sensor be here than where Samsung decided to place their fingerprint sensor on the S8 or the S8 Plus. That's reason number 5. Okay. Number 6, battery life. Now, in the G6 here, we've got a 3,300 milliamp hour non-removable battery. Okay, this battery is much better than the G5. The G5 had a 2,700 milliamp hour battery, but the good thing about the G5 is it had a removable battery. And so would I prefer that for the G6? Of course, because what's quicker than taking out a dead battery and swap it in for a fresh one? You know, turn your phone back on and you're right back at 100%. But that's not the reality with this phone. Okay, so it's got 3,300 milliamps with moderate usage. Easily, I can get through a day and a half and still have 25 or 30% battery life left with right under 6 hours of screen on time. And depending on what I decide to do with that other half a day, I could very easily last 2 days on one charge. With heavy use, I'm still easily getting through a full day's usage with about 20% left with full usage in a day's time. So moderate use, day and a half, 25, 30% left. Hard use, heavy use, get through a day with about 15 or 20% left. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, if you're going to get the S8, get the Plus, because with the Plus, you're getting 3,500 milliamps as opposed to the 3,000 milliamps that you have in the S8. My opinion, the battery in this G6 here outperforms the S8. It outperforms the S8 because the S8 has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. And I found that battery, I don't want to call it suspect, but it just didn't do that. It didn't do as well as I thought it was going to. Again, you've got that Quad HD display that you're powering. And granted, you can scale those things down, but a lot of people don't want to. I mean, if you got a Quad HD display, they want to rock their phones on Quad HD. They want to have it up to max brightness. They want to look at video content or whatever they're watching or streaming in the best picture quality possible. And so that your battery is going to take a hit, with that. So I find that the battery on this one, I mean, at least you've got that additional 300 milliamps that can help get you through, So that's my number 6 reason. Now, number 7 and final reason that I rock with the G6 over the S8 is none other than the camera. And I think a lot of you out there would agree with me. If you don't, get your hands on this phone and play with the camera. On the back here, we've got a dual 13 megapixel shooter, one for standard viewing, one for wide angle viewing. Okay, you've got tons of camera settings, pro mode, things of that nature. You can tweak the camera to make sure that you're getting that shot that you want. You can do like the bokeh effect, get the blurred vision to just focus on whatever you're emphasizing on. You can do all those things with this camera. Still shots, recording are amazing. I've taken some pictures with this phone and people thought that they were a real live DSLR camera that those photos were shot with. And they were just absolutely in shock and awe when I told them, no, I took these photos with my smartphone. I took these photos with my LG G6 here. It's got a dual camera lens, it's got a standard view, and it's got another wide angle view that has a 125 degree angle to get, you know, everything you want in a shot. And it also works the same with video recording. Just to give you guys a little taste, I recorded some video footage in standard view and wide angle view. And I also took some still shots in standard view and wide angle view with both the rear facing camera and the selfie cam. So I'll go ahead and show those now. Let me know what you guys think about those, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, this your man Pristine. So I'm here getting a rear facing camera sample with the LG G6. Okay, so now we're in the wide angle view right now, so I'm gonna switch it to the standard view here shortly. Let me go ahead and turn off the car. Now I'm at this park, and so we're just gonna, you know, take some video footage from around the park, just to kind of give you guys an idea. Even just looking out of the front window right here of the Pristine Mobile. I mean, just look at that. Now this is the wide angle view, and so let me go ahead and turn the car off here. Okay. Okay, hop out that Pristine Mobile, y'all. Y'all see the Pristine Mobile? Yeah. This is how I'm rolling, y'all. Excuse the background noise, y'all. I'm right next to a freeway, so there's a lot of traffic over here behind these bushes. There's a highway right there, so there's a lot of traffic moving by. But it's a beautiful day here in Seattle, Washington. And just look at the big toy right there. So now I'm going to switch to the standard view. And if you just look at the detail of the big toy, like look at the bark. I mean, just everything is just extremely detailed. The picture is crystal clear. I'm pretty sure that the big toy is painted green and blue to represent the Seahawks. Go Seahawks. Now I'm just gonna walk along the park here. No blur really. No stutters or shakiness. That's that optical image stabilization working. Got the basketball court down there. Beautiful day here in Seattle today. So yeah, so again, just to get a closer look at the big toy. Now I'm going to switch back to the wide angle view, which it's a 125 degree view. So there's a major difference between the standard view and the wide angle view. So obviously, as you can see, when you switch to the wide angle view, there's so much more that you can capture in the shot. Okay, standard view, wide angle view. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the camera, this is one of the main reasons why I chose the LG G6 over the Samsung Galaxy S8. Now the S8, it has a great camera on it, but it doesn't have the dual lens that gives you the option to do this or this. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of the dual lens, and I'll be sure to contact you guys with answers to any feedback or questions that you guys may have regarding the cameras on the LG G6. Walk back to the Pristine Mobile. Hop down here. All right, y'all. Let me know what you guys think. What's going on, y'all? This your man Pristine. So I got some front-facing camera footage on the LG G6 here. This is a 5 megapixel front-facing selfie cam. And it's interesting because I know that with my own personal experience and a lot of videos that I've watched on other reviewers who have reviewed this camera, it's been said that this camera's been a little suspect, which it is. But it's funny because like a lot of other cameras, a lot of it has to do with the lighting. You know, there's been some pictures that I've taken with this front-facing camera and shot some video, and it was suspect, it was fuzzy, you know, it wasn't really clear, you know, it wasn't really like that top quality that you're used to from an LG camera. But then if you get into like a better lighting type of situation and you take a photo, then the photo is like spot on. And it's the same thing with the video footage right here. So I don't know, maybe you guys can see what I'm talking about a little bit with shooting this video. This is in the regular view right here. Let me go ahead and switch it to the wide angle view. I'm trying to keep my eyes on the road because I'm driving at the same time. Probably this is the safest thing to do. So, you know, I wouldn't advise you guys to try this, but okay, so I just switched to the wide angle view here. And as you can see, obviously, you know, there's more of the image in the shot, you know, which is good. You know, it's a nice feature to have on the front-facing camera. I know that LG, they're pretty much known for the dual lens cameras on the rear that produce some excellent photos, whether you're in the regular view or the wide-angle view. But now they implemented the feature within the front-facing camera as well. I mean, so it's a nice feature. Now, see, now looking at it right now, I mean, the picture looks crystal clear. This looks like, you know, some quality footage that's being captured right now. So again, you know, with this particular camera, I mean, it's a decent camera. I mean, it's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst, but it's kind of hit or miss as the type of quality that you get. Now, like, again, I mean, the quality that I'm looking at right now is, I mean, this looks great. This is some great looking footage right now. But again, you know, it's daylight outside. You know, it's a beautiful day here in Seattle. You know, maybe I'll test some more footage, you know, in lower light situations just to kind of see if you guys can, you know, get an idea of what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, you know, the front facing cam on the G6 is decent. You know, now the rear facing camera, that's where all the money is. Definitely. That's where all the money is. So I'm going to go ahead and get some rear facing camera footage as well for you guys to go ahead and check out. And leave any comments below in the comment section if you guys have any feedback or questions or any insight or just your own personal opinions on the footage here from the front facing cam on the LG G6. All right, y'all. Okay. Beautiful photos. I'm sure you guys would agree with me. Let me know what you think about those photos in the comments below. The video footage that was captured. You know, I love conversating about these things. So any kind of thoughts, opinions, feedback of any kind, let me know in the comment section. And you guys already know I'll get back in contact with you shortly. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Those are my my 7 reasons why I choose to rock with the LG G6 over the Samsung Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus. Again, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that the Samsung S8 or S8 Plus are bad devices, but for me and what I like, this LG is doing everything that I needed to do. It's a top performer, the price is right, the cameras are right, the battery life is right. The phone just does everything that I needed to do. Why pay extra money? Why pay extra hundreds of dollars for an 835 processor when this performs just as good? Why pay hundreds of dollars more for an iris scanner or facial detection? I don't need all that to unlock my phone. My fingerprint sensor on this phone, just a simple tap, and it does the job. Okay, this has a 5.7-inch True Vision display from top to bottom, bezel-less, just like the S8 and the S8 Plus. It's much more durable. Got my Tech 21 case on here for added protection. Again, if you do have an S8 or an S8 Plus, have insurance, have a screen protector, and have a case. Because if you drop it, good luck. Good luck. So again, I hope you guys liked this video. If you found some use or some value in this video, or you just want to converse about it, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps me in a major way. Much love to all of my supporters, everyone that's subscribed and are following me on this journey. I thank you. I love you guys. Stay patient with me. I'm going to continue to get my hands on these devices, get this information out to you guys as much as I possibly can. And yeah, I appreciate you guys rocking with me on this long journey. So until the next video, you already know, please stay safe, Stay blessed. Definitely keep God first and number one in your lives, always. And definitely stay pristine, y'all, because cleanliness is next to godliness. Keep it pristine in your lives. Peace. I'll catch y'all in the next one.